Alright guys, I've never worn this wig or that black with blonde highlights wig on my YouTube channel. I'm loving these wigs, they're so gorgeous. So I had to wear them today. Now guys, I feel like a really beautiful person, inside and out, and I really have you to thank for it, darlings. You guys are really kind and really friendly, and of course I love performing for all you guys out there, darling. Thank you guys very, very much. Now guys, I'm not a trans creator. I don't consider myself a trans creator. But I love it when people say I'm their favorite trans creator, or I'm their favorite creator, or I'm their favorite good-looking guy creator, I'm their favorite good-looking girl creator as a drag queen, or if they say I'm a drag queen, whatever, I love it all. Even if they say because I don't identify with being a drag queen or a transgender person, but I do feel that it's very important to get these comments, and the reason why that is, now you guys are wondering, well, why do you say all these things about trans? Why do you say all these things about drag if you don't consider it those things? Well, because a lot of people want me to be labeled that way because they see me being so good looking as a guy and so good looking as a girl, so they want to label me that way because it makes them feel better about their situation because they might be struggling with issues or whatever. And so I'm there for them, right? Because I know from me, I like to see people that are in my situation. Whenever I see a bi guy that's good looking, I'm very ecstatic because they're openly bi and they're out there and they're performing and they're bi and they're a bi guy and not that it matters, I date both guys and girls, but it really helps because I see someone that's like me, right? So it helps, right? So whenever people say, oh, you're my favorite trans creator, or you're my favorite this, or you're my favorite that, instead of being like, well, I'm not trans, get away from me, why would I say that, right? I'm very happy because to me, that means that I'm visible to them in a way that they want me to represent them. And, trans people go through a lot of stuff, so of course I'm going to be supportive of that, right? Now, like I said, people want to have someone represent them. So if you want to consider me trans, you want to consider me non-binary even, I don't mind. I'm not non-binary, but if you want to consider me a drag queen, please do so because if that makes you feel safer, if that makes you feel like more positive, if that makes you feel like you can tackle the world because you see how confident I am, then I want that, darling. Because you know what? At the end of the day, if I'm helping people that are in the LGBTQ plus in every facet, if I'm helping them all, then I'm really grateful because they're the ones that are going to support me. They love my channel. Why not, right? Anyway, guys, I really think that's important because, people don't see a lot of trans creators these days. The ones that are trans, that are popular, are very popular because there's not enough trans creators out there, right? There's quite a few, but you know what I mean? They're not all famous, right? Anyway, you guys are amazing. You guys are beautiful, darling. Right, guys? You know what I mean? Like, instead of being, like Bruce Jenner will be like, oh, I'm a Republican all the way through, which I don't think being a Republican necessarily means. I mean, I don't have any comments on politics or anything, but a lot of people will say, being a Republican means you're against LGBTQ rights, which maybe to some extent you are, but I don't think it's always the case. I know some people that are probably Republican that just believe in some other values and they don't consider LGBTQ plus rights. Though they consider them, and most Republicans might not. But I don't think being a Republican necessarily means you are LGBTQ non-friendly, even though it might indicate you are. But being a Republican doesn't necessarily mean that for me. I think you can have Republican values and still have some parts of liberal values. All right. And like I said, I have no comments on politics. I'm not trying to be vocal about politics in any way. And I don't think anything is necessarily set in stone with politics, and parties can change, people can change. But the one thing that I think of is that, with like Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner saying that, it's like, you are transgender. He actually had the surgery and everything, and he considers himself transgender, and he's still like that, right? So, for me, I just think, it's important to have a fan base that knows that you support things you do, I don't go out like this. I'm not identifying as this. But if it helps one person not unalive themselves, or 10 people or 20 people, because they see how powerful I am and super strong and beautiful I am, then that's what I want, darling. Anyway, totally do it right now. 5번 또